woke, and at the same time sell us the dope that leads to heart failures and strokes. Where do we start? Do we believe what the elders wrote, or the ones who watch through a telescope? The Illuminati cyclops, beast mark on every coast. The head of a cult, the devil goat that sits in a drum circle like a hippie, dressed like a gypsy. My best of rocket the nebula quotes is like Tesla notes. Now they got surveillance on Diddy. I'm a cross between Umar Johnson and Billy Carson. I told my grandmother that we are from where the stars from. I'm like Rod Hayes, but I'm Todd Wave with a blonde fade. Some days it'll be an orange braid, half shade. That's just his character. I made hair like lemonade. Both his parents come from Africa. Y'all know the prototype, it's the walking life. See, the sun is the source of light. They made my quartz bright as New York at night. They say when Walter Wright, he could steer Hathor to the boat of the moon. Into the cliff, sent to the glyphs to open the tombs. They say Killah flows is like pillar porticos that fulfill the scrolls made of silver and gold. The bars I laid is like sculpted on the architrave. I wrote it like an art display of gods and goddesses with darker shades. I wrote it in the chamber, glowing like the child that was golden in the manger. Only 3 kings knew he was growing to be the savior. Okay, back to rap more about Hathor, the cow-headed near the Nile desert. Under the white clouds, the native dancing in the powwow. He wore the head crown of owl feathers. As the clan went from loud records, and priests and Jizza wrote their signature down on Geffen. And hip-hop's are where I found the presence. The shepherds are coming down from Mount Everest, surrounded by peasants. With unclean skin disease, they called them leopard. I pointed a finger up and moved it around till I found the nebula. I told them I walked through Babylon, Persia, and Mecca. I talked to bees out their nectar, kings out their treasure. I've been counting ever since I've been walking. I started from forever. I've been writing on steelies inside of caverns where it's misty. Dealt tarot cards to the hands of time. Closed my eyes while the mouth of a cave kissed me. I gave the walls history. Y'all enslaved us all misery. That's why I shaved it off and came back bald, a mystery. I wrote it all on big slabs of lapis, lazuli, channel vibes to the candle fire. 12 candlesticks, 6 on amethyst. I write my scrolls on the clove of a rose. You see them when they unfold, the untold secret me and the queen bee hold. So when they make the pollen bin, I can communicate with the insect world like King Solomon. I mean solar gems, most wrote of him.
Then I went rogue on them, those who stole my pen. Then I went ice cold as wind. Geminis we roll as twins. When we take the mic, we're the walking life.
The D's raided houses looking for your favorite out of Brooklyn. Africa praises to the bushmen, to the natives in the woodlands, the razors and the juxin, through the mazes of the bullpen. They killed our saviors, re-raised us and made us into hoodlums. Malcolm X became one of the greatest out of the Muslims, except for this boxer who never went to Oxford, never became a doctor, but got the rings of the chakras. Cassius Clay and Hathaway passed away, saw dimensions. George Benson, could this be a masquerade? Preacher said fast and pray. My mother's not there, but I asked her grave. Tiffany's not here, but her ashes stayed. What words will Prince and Michael Jackson say? I was a boy, now the mirror showed me patches of gray. Then it got black, and I started like tapping into a haze. Dazed, the mirror said your hair looked glazed because that's how much passion you gave. This is what happened, you still rapping. The mirror became my healer when it told me I was a pyramid giver, a gold spitter and a soul filler. I came to slay the Antichrist. Walking life, walking life, walking life. Yeah, so I pray.
Now, who were some of your early influences?
Well, the planets, the creator, mythical gods, real ones, people, flowers, everything in nature, inspiration. Musicians get their inspiration really from environmental things, and all musicians are inspiration to me, no matter what style they're playing.
Peace to the family here in the building. Tonight we got a special guest by special request. It's Wednesday. It's Wind Down Wednesday. It's Woo Wednesday. It's however you actualize your experience. We here on the Wind Down. It's your brother Knowledge One Allah here, standing in for the Iron Software Hip Hop Killer Priest. So tell a friend and tell a friend. We're about to have an amazing, amazing show. So tell somebody we here now. So I love this part when I get to introduce people who have influenced me in life, who have influenced the culture in life, and have been, very, very critical in hip hop from a myriad of angles. So we have a visionary who dedicated most of his adult life to bringing people together from all different walks of life and allowing a cultural expression at a time, at an art form that was dying from a fashion perspective, from an authenticity perspective, from a lyrical perspective, and all of that. After the death of too many icons to name, one who came with a vision and a goal and aim and objective and turned it into the epitome of what our cultural art form was designed for, to show love and push loyalty. So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some and present to others the Polo Rican, the skillionaire, the low life general, the fashion icon, the MC, the producer, the director, the author, the hip hop historian, and a true brother in our midst, the one and only Brooklyn Zone, New Yorican Zone, the Polo Rican mastermind himself, Thirstin Howl the third. Welcome back to the podcast, my brother. Peace and blessings to you. How you feeling, General?
Peace, man. Brownsville's own. Miami.
Brownsville's own. Never ran, never will.
Nah, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me pull up, man. I appreciate it, man.
I love it. I reached out because I seen what you got going on over here in Orlando. You understand what I'm saying? So that this I changed Orlando to Lolando. Okay, they can have it back on the 19th. You understand what I'm saying? So May 16th through the 18th is Lolando. So you ain't in Orlando for that weekend. If you pull up, you in Lolando. You understand what I'm saying? So
It's the low zone.
the low zone. You understand what I'm saying? So how does it feel to have created a movement that is so influential and so iconic, but yet still shrouded in a lot of mystery? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm glad that you're able to be here to shed some light on low life mindset, what it means to be a low life, and how you envisioned it versus how it continues to grow.
Wow. I love that question right there. I never visioned it, man. It just happened naturally. You know what I mean? It was organic, the way Low Life was born, the way everybody came together, and even to what it evolved into. It was all organic. None of it was planned. Not even the evolution. It wasn't a plan. I didn't know I was going to evolve as a human as well. But I mean, I love nothing more than hip hop my entire life, man. Since a young kid, I've always just lived everything according to hip hop. My whole mind state was molded by hip hop. So to actually be within the hip hop community, to be within the hip hop culture, to be able to, help it evolve, to be a contributor to it, an icon or whatever the people perceive me as. I would have never imagined this in a million years, man. And I love it. I love it and I appreciate it. And I try to nurture it properly, man, to keep it alive and to keep it moving forward. Because I'm never trying to hear that hip hop is dead, or or that is played out, or is done. Cause and what am I gonna? That happens, you know what I mean? This is my life, so I refuse to let any of that happen. I refuse to even hear them type of terms when we speaking about hip hop. You know what I mean? So I'm here to keep it alive. No matter where I go, I'm here to keep it evolving into its next phases and to keep our generation included as always. There's no such thing as ageism in hip hop to me. You know what I mean? We evolve with the times and we able to stay consistent with it no matter what the trends are. We able to stay true to who we are and what we do and how we do it. And, that's what I'm here for.
Iconic. So take us back, because you lace your boots up and you get in the ring when hip hop fell into like a I don't know what's next type of situation. You see what I'm saying? So, but between you and Pun, it was a game changer. You know what I'm saying? Joe, with his impact, Chino XL with his iconic impact. You know what I'm saying? You lace your boots up and you get in the ring and you go for yours during like the wildest, most uncertain time in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So, what was it like for you coming into the game, seeing the thing you loved for so many years, and then going from a spectator to a participant in this sense?
I mean, like I said, I could have never imagined it, but it was all organic. You know, I was always involved in hip hop, you know, as a graffiti artist and a break dancer and
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
since the beginning. But to actually become a rapper and all that, I never could imagined it. You know, as far as rap music and hip hop music, I was always a fiend. Like I say, I'm not a fan, fiend. The best way I could describe it is, you know, crackhead. The way crack people
Right.
pursue
Right.
crack, I pursued hip hop and the music and all that. I slept to it. I had sex to it. I fought to it. I trained to it.
Mm.
I think my life with the music playing in the background. My entire life I was like that. And I mean, to actually be included in it and be one of the people participating, like I said, it was a dream. Rest in peace, Chino XL. You know, that's my brother. You know, just
Mm-hmm.
being involved and standing next to people like that, I could have never imagined, you know, because I was a fan first, you know, and a fiend. So just to be here, man, it's a dream come true. You know, it's all them things that I could have never imagined, man. And that's just the honest truth. I never imagined. Even when I became a rapper and all that, I never thought I would make it this far. As far as to be acknowledged and recognized for my contributions and to really, you know, be as skilled and consistent as I am with it. I never imagined this ever.
Word up. So I was doing the knowledge, right? You understand? One of my favorite skits from Sean Price, man, when he said, "Do the knowledge." You understand what I'm saying? Him and his brother, you know what I'm saying? They're going through John, like, do the knowledge, God. I was doing knowledge to the 5% paper from back in the day.
Wow.
And we got one of the epic videos, and I seen you on the cover. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, that's how far I go back in the archives looking. You know what I'm saying, on my bench, on my thirst bench. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
what was kind of the backstory for you getting connected in that way in Medina?
That was the God soon as Allah. You know, I've built with soon a lot. I actually named him Skillustrator Lo. You know,
Yeah, peace to the God.
came in cipher in the family of Low Life. You know, as a wordsmith, you know, helping to spread the gospel of low life. And, you know, he told me he was going to include me in the paper. I didn't know it was going to be to that extent where I was going to make the front cover and all of that. But, you know, it had a lot to do with how I portray myself, or, you know, like many of the gods tell me, you know, I've never proclaimed to be 5% or anything like that. But everybody always told me, you God. You know, you might not recite the 120 or state that you live by it, but they always told me that I manifested regardless. You know, my brother B Born has always told me that as well. Like, you manifest what the 120 is, whether, you know, you live your life differently or whatever. Because even me, you know, I was one of them pork eating motherfuckers, man. I was the pork chop prince on a lot of my songs. You know, my name is Don. That's
Yeah.
like the dawn of motherfucking, you know, the bed knee and all that. So, you know, for them brothers to understand who I am, regardless of what I'm spitting or what my Latin culture is or eating habits. They understood how I manifested as a man and an individual, especially dealing with, multiple people everywhere I go. But that was a blessing, man, and I salute all of us for that, man. Thank you for putting me on that paper. And soon as I love,
It's iconic. Salute
yeah,
to the illustrator. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, I
Yeah,
hear I haven't framed it yet, but I'm gonna frame that piece when I get some space to put it up. I'm gonna put that in a frame, because
that's
that's
love.
real big. I grew up with many 5%ers all my life, man. And
Right.
I've read the 120. Like I said, I've never been somebody who claimed it or even try to follow the teachings, but I guess I just manifested certain things naturally by by the discipline or the way I am as a man.
Also, civilized persons, Muslims and Muslim sons, man. That it's very distinct in regards to characteristics. You see what I'm saying? So, you brought civilization to people who were savage. You were civilizer, regardless. You understand what I'm saying? You were civilizer. So, we A alike and we be alike, so we can see alike. So, a society is a group of men who come together for one common cause. So, it's very evident in your words and ways and actions. So there's a lot of cats that might be able to quote something. A parrot can do that. But what do you live? Where do you live? How do you live? How do you treat your fellow man? You see what I'm saying? So these are all things and tenets that you do live by. You live by those tenets, and these are tenets that one who air like they live. You see what I'm saying? If I was a savage in pursuit of happiness, then I would attract that. You understand what I'm saying? But if
Which,
I'm a righteous brother out here, then that's what it is. It's something different. So
which
I wanted to ask. Go
I
ahead.
can imagine as far as coming from the savage mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course, I'm amongst the savages, and I share the mentality, and that's the only reason I could relate and even draw brothers to see anything different, because I can relate because I stood there as well.
So it's definitely mine to take mine. It's like you read my next question out of my head, right?
Wow.
Redemption, the power of redemption, the power to be redeemed, the process of it for you, and then the power to help aid another brother or sister in their own redemption. What has that been like for you?
It goes back to being grateful. During like my incarcerations and things like that, they were people who stepped in that assisted me in my change. Even in prison, there were many brothers who only offered knowledge and only tried to, guide me down the right path with their words or the books they would throw at me and things like that. And all anyone asked me to do was to pay it forward. Even the programs, I was a facilitator for the Jim Brown America I Can program as well, because I was also a graduate of the program. And, all I ever heard was pay it forward. Nobody was ever asking for anything in return except for me to help someone else, the same way. So I believe I've done it 1,000 times over since then, because I saw how much my life benefited from the things that were taught to me or the opportunities that were given to me. So I always made sure I can pay that forward, because a lot of times when you pay it forward, them same people come back and pay you in many other ways, to help you to continue to evolve. When you help somebody evolve, they come back, and they help your evolution even more, so that each one teach one thing. But I'm grateful, man. That more than anything in life, I sit here like as a grateful man, and I would have never imagined to be in the positions I'm in today.
So before we get into the weekend, let's get into love and loyalty. What are the things, or some of the tenets, some of the backstory, the things that love and loyalty Lo Life is involved in that many people might not know about?
Well, as you know, everybody knows now, Lo Life is a major component in hip hop culture. We have become, you know, like, or should I say, we have followed in the footsteps of organizations like Zulu Nation and the Rocksteady Crew to become global entities for hip hop. You know what I mean? Where we bridge the gaps of the world by having chapters all over the globe. You know, like so many people gravitated to Lo Life within hip hop all over the world, and you know, more from a fashion standpoint, because people admired or tried to emulate the styles we brought from back in the days, even to keep them relevant and current of today. You know, so that bridge alone united so many people everywhere. So we have become that from the fashion standpoint and the art and entertainment standpoint. But at that same time, we utilized our influence to tap into the community and try to give back. Because, you know, in the past, we were major influences for the negativity. You know, we influenced a lot of things within our neighborhoods and our projects, and you know, that sent a lot of people down the wrong paths because they looked up to us or they wanted to be the way we were. And I think we've been able to fix that, you know what I mean? And bring about change. So we've had the same influence now from a positive perspective and giving back to the youth, or the influence we're giving to people. We're trying to steer them in a different way because our, you know, our mentalities have changed. And I don't know, man, but it's been working. You know, it's been working a lot, and we're definitely helping whoever we can, wherever we can. And not by giving out money or that, just by offering the knowledge, offering the opportunities, offering influence, advice, you know, things that are going to help you persevere in your life.
Definitely. If you was to explain this way of life that you live, and many of your brothers and sisters live, that never heard of it, was unaware, how would you explain the life that you live to them?
The life that I lived once upon a time, um,
Or live now, currently, or either way. If you did it in dimensions, you see what I'm saying? Dimensions of time.
I mean, we come from, you know, survival, just knowing how to survive. And, you know, that evolved into just knowing to live righteous or be righteous, you know, from your heart, from your actions, and to follow that through, being men of your word, and things like that. But you know, hip hop is a major component of it, because that's what brought us all together. You know, just the hip hop culture, period. But being that influence like that, and knowing that you are the influence, so you have to be very aware of what you're teaching. Because in the past, you know, we didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know I was steering people down the wrong way, because I'm only in survival mode and I'm only trying to teach you how to survive. My mother was exactly the same way. My mother was straight street, you know, she was straight gang and all of that. So I believe with all the love in her heart, she just told me, you know, taught me what she knew. And she knew survival in the street. So that's why, you know, I was brought up that way. It wasn't like something I went and adapted myself. It was in my household. You know, the gang meetings were in my household as a kid and things like that. So, you know,
Word up. So this weekend, let's talk about, not this weekend, but the next weekend, the 16th through the 18th. What can people expect from that experience over there?
Well, it's the Love and Loyalty weekend in Orlando. You know, since I moved here to Orlando, I got with a lot of the hip hop artists out here, a lot of the brothers that live the culture. I got with my childhood friend Earl Lugo. You know, we created a Lo Life chapter within Orlando. We work together with Miami. We have a chapter in Miami called the Lo Life Miami Family. And we were doing all of this in Miami as well, and which we still do. So we created the Love and Loyalty weekend for Orlando. This is probably our 6th year already. And it's just a situation to bring the hip hop community together. You know, when I first moved here, I always heard that people were clicked up, or these artists don't rock with these artists, or these artists over here, and everybody's separated. And I'm like, that's whack. That's corny. How you gonna get anywhere like that? You know, people gotta come together. You gotta build together or compete together against each other. Whatever it is, if you want it to thrive, there has to be some kind of unity, you know? So we started doing this, and we started bringing everybody together within Orlando. You know, hip hop was already existing here. People were living it.
Right.
But so many were separated. You know, I'm all about bringing the people together because I want to feed off of the culture just as much as I'm feeding it. So I need to hear the hot shit. I need to hear the hot spitters, the crazy MCs, the graph artists, whatever it is. So, you know, like I said, this is our 6th year. Started bringing everything together. So we got a 3-day weekend right now. Friday, May 16th is our first night. It's a meet and greet night. It's at the Commission Beer Chamber. That's 2230 Curry Ford Road in Orlando, Florida. Shout out Benny Blanco. You know, he owns the Commission. And we've done it there every year for the Friday night meet and greet. Food vendors, you know, different type of vendors, clothing. We sell polo. We sell Lo Life merch. You know, we sell food, we sell pastelitos, you know, and there's a bunch of beer and drinks being sold at the Commission Chamber. And then we do the Saturday night, which we've always done as well, at the Iron Cow. The Iron Cow is at 2438A East Robinson Street in Orlando, Florida. You know, we've done some amazing showcases at the Iron Cow, and we always have a theme. Our theme for this night is the Brooklyn Bridge to Orlando Part 2. Last year we did the Brooklyn Bridge to Orlando. You know, we brought out the Cellar Dwellers, Smith & Wesson, Wordsworth, you know, and the shows be hard body. I'm not talking about regular shows. We talking about dudes is going up there destroying the stage. You know, and that's all we trying to bring, the hungry, skilled artists. And as well as intertwining all the Orlando artists as well. You know, there's a lot of people who've been doing it here forever and that are legendary as well. You know, on this Saturday, I mean, the Saturday the 17th, we got like Mad Ills, we got Jay Terror. You know, these are Orlando artists. And then we bring in Illa G, we got Master Ace, we got Rusty Jukes, we got Cortez, we got Carlton Fisk, you know, and a host of a whole bunch of other brothers, Straight Paper. I myself gonna be performing, Richie Balance, you know, but straight skilled hip hop on stage, real live performances with massive energy, massive bars, and you know, straight up skills. And it's always a welcoming crowd, man. Like all our events, ain't no screw faces, ain't nobody coming here tough. Everybody's showing love to each other. You see the entire crowd mingling. You see everybody getting along, you know, because that's the energy we giving off, and that's the energy that we want to receive. You know, we want, because it's mature people at this point. You know, everybody's up there, so it's no reason to be playing these dumb games that you probably once played before. You know, but the show's been incredible. Like I said, it's sponsored by the Lo Life Orlando and Lo Life Miami family. And then we have Sunday, we do a Lo Life barbecue. So this is the Lo Life Orlando barbecue. And that's at Downey Park, 10107 Flowers Avenue in Orlando. Free barbecue. It's from 12 to 5 p.m. It's free food, free everything. You know, it's a family friendly event. You could bring your children, you could bring your wife, you know, and it's full of DJs, you know, all the artists. Like the whole weekend, you'll see everybody all weekend. And like I said, enjoying themselves and people coming through just having a good time, man, and celebrating hip hop and keeping the low life culture along, you know, going and thriving. And that's what we're trying to do, because I'm not trying to let hip hop die. Not on my watch. I'm trying to live this as long as I can, because this is my life. So anywhere I'm going, or most of the people I'm dealing with, we all have that in common. So it makes it kind of easy, you know, to continue on with it. But it's a live event, man. Love and Loyalty Weekend Orlando 2025. Like I said, anybody could come through. All are welcome. You don't have to wear polo. You know, get fly if you want, but be you. That's all that matters. Polo is not even a requirement. If you fly and you got it, all good. If you don't, it's not required, man. Just come and bring yourself.
That's what it is. I want to get into the albums, but I picked a couple of joints, and I want to get your response or whatever you could tell me behind the scenes of a couple of iconic joints. I would be here all night. The catalog like 30 albums deep. You understand what I'm saying? 30 albums deep, and you know the last shall be Thirst.
35 albums deep.
35. Hold on. Let me. Where the bomb, man? Hold on. My bad. Let me get it together. Your favorite rapper ain't got 35 albums.
Well, now
Your favorite rapper ain't got 35 albums. And if they got 35 albums, they ain't fucking with one of these albums. I'm gonna just tell you.
Is the last shall be Thirst.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yes. That's all about, man.
I made an observation. Before I play the videos, I want to ask you. I was doing the knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Doing knowledge, God. You understand? I was doing the knowledge too. Yeah. The last shall be Thirst. I did not see skills in the title, and I didn't see you with no polo on. You understand? I think I seen a little Averex down, like you know what I'm saying? I think I seen some Averex on the drink. So,
Low.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Iron Soft of hip hop, the one and only Killah Priest in the building.
What up?
Yeah.
What up, Thirst?
Baby, how you?
Oh man, it's great, man. It's an honor, man. It's an honor. It's been years, man. We're still here. For real. But check it out. Coming in. I'm driving right now. Hold on, shit. Word. I couldn't even hold it. I was trying to get to the studio, but I was like, no, I gotta get on right now. Word. Yeah, you got the legend, Brownsville legend, huh?
Yeah, just like you, boy, just like you.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you, Prince.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, what you your question as far as the skill title, right? Originally, this album was gonna be called Kilimanjaro, The Last Shall Be Thirst. But I felt like The Last Shall Be Thirst title was way stronger than utilizing the Kilimanjaro. Plus, I felt like it's time to, you know, evolve, reinvent myself, switch it up. Because I probably done 13, 14, 15 titles already. You know what I mean? And I want to shout out my boy Normal, who I went one day and me and him went to have, and we was just having and he said the last shall be thirst in the conversation with me, and I was like, I gotta use that.
That's it.
My boy, he's also He was on the Lyricist Lounge show with me, and he's Hip Hop Harry, the dinosaur. That's crazy.
Yeah.
For one of these events, man. I've been trying to get you here, Priest.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I'm gonna come through. I know the time that I want to jump in the I want to jump in the video, but I told you I got a treat for you. On my next joint, I had to throw the Thirstin in there. You hear it? Yeah.
I've been pulling back up soon, Priest. I've been going back and forth with that. Every time I pull up, I'm locked in working wherever I'm at. So, but next
I know.
My rounds again.
I know. Last time we saw each other, I was the Colombian drug lord. Word, yo, that's live. What's good though? What you working on now?
Well, I'm about to drop the album, The Last Shall Be Thirst.
Okay.
The album, I got The Last Boy Scout on there. I got Young Hump. I got Taz from the Alcohol. I got motherfucking Puss on the album. Killing it.
Who?
Snag Puss, man.
Snaggerpuss.
Oh, Snag. Oh, wow. Damn. Shout out to Snag. Word.
Man, me and Snag, like, we got a chemistry, man. So we call them character type rappers, man. So I got an album called Character, and me, Snagglepuss, Young Hump, and Dana Dane, and Supernatural. The track is retarded.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
In hip hop,
Wow.
put all the character rappers on the song,
Wow. Wow. You gotta get
I got
Kim ain't on it. Kim was the frog. Remember Kim?
I fuck with Kim.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember the frog shit. He came to Brownsville to let me hear it. Cause I had a frog too.
Oh, get out of here. Yeah. The Minnie Mouse, right? From the
Courageous Cat joint, but I had an actual
Courageous Cat, yep.
Song called Frog Style. Frog Style's priceless. My mouth must be full of insect feces because I'm always saying some fly shit. I had that.
That's a bomb. Give him a bomb for that one. That's a bomb. Word. Oh, it's loud.
At all. So I be trying to like calm it down, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in the studio. So I can get on. So I can get out this car. I'm gonna come right back. All right.
I know my sacred rights when I write. Who am I to judge? I'm in my pen tonight. I got booked in the pages with blue bars in. I started doing the sentence and finished at the margin. My mind tried to escape, but I'm the correctional garden. Max in the mental state, full of gems while I'm jogging. Using words and terms